Hi everybody, welcome to Missy's Imaginings. As you can hear, I'm still sick. It's been a little over a week. I don't know what this is, but I'm feeling a little better, although my voice is still horrible and still like chest cold. And yeah, so some viruses just take longer to fight, I suppose. But I wanted to pop on here real quick. We do have the box opening for this guy, so don't look, and the wiring for him that I talked about in the last video. So we'll go ahead and after the intro, we'll break to that so you can see the box opening and also how to wire this guy and what I use to do that. But before we get to that, there's like super exciting news, at least to me, and that is that we've made 500 subscribers. So thank you everyone. I'm so excited. I'm just so tickled that you would want to come along and watch the videos and make our own little community here as we sew things and enjoy this hobby. So to celebrate, I was thinking on what can I do, and someone messaged me and asked me about a particular pattern that they would like to have. And I thought, so I got my wheels turning. I wanted to do a collection of patterns for you just to celebrate that we've made 500 subscribers. And I'm sorry my voice is so terrible. I promise I'll get through this and you won't have to listen anymore. But I got to thinking, there's three things that I usually never give away. The first one being the patterns to my doll trunks, and I don't give that pattern away. And then the second one is the patterns for some of the customized anime dolls that I've done. I've done some Naruto dolls and some other things. So those patterns, because they're custom for whatever person I'm making them from or for myself, I don't give those away. Otherwise they wouldn't be one of a kind or whatever. And then lastly, as many of you know who've come to the doll shows, I don't give away the patterns to my coats. So I make several different kinds of coats, not talking about like just a dress jacket, you know, like a sport coat, but the actual like overcoat, outerwear. But we're going to make an exception. So because it's 500 subscribers, what I've done is I have designed a new coat, so it's not one that I've done before. So there just has to be a few things that are just mine, right? But so what we've done is I've made, and I've never designed for this size of doll, so you may need to adjust. I'm not sure. I don't even have any of these sizes of doll, but someone sent me the measurements. So this is for a USD, sorry about my voice, 1/4 scale doll, so it's a more youthful shape of a doll. So it's this little jacket right here, and maybe I'll come up to the camera. Hopefully that'll still focus. You can see it. So it's that little coat right there, and I've made it in a USD size with the USD outfit. This pattern will also include some little bloomers and a little camisole top, a little carrying bag, which is basically a rectangle that you'd put a drawstring in, but there was extra space on the paper, and a hat. So that pattern set looks like this, and I will get all these posted, of course, on the website. And so then, and stockings, there we go, and some little stockings if you want to make it. So then I took that idea for that look of a coat, and I branched it out to a regular 1/4 scale doll. So this, maybe have to adjust it a little depending on what doll you have, but this would be for like a Minifee, for the Ipple House JID, for a Tonner Eloine, all those types of dolls. And because it's an outerwear coat, it's not quite as fitted, so there's a little room for you to play with it. But there's the coat pattern for that, and so that's this pattern. Then I went a step further, and I did the coat for the Wild Imagination Tonner Evangeline / 50 centimeter Obitsu. For that doll, for the Obitsu, her arms are quite a bit longer, so there is a line in the sleeve where you can add length for the sleeve. So again, there you might have to play with it a little bit. I didn't actually use her basic set to draft the pattern, so you might have to play with it a little bit. So there's that coat. Then the last step is I went ahead and took the design to the realm of a basic 3rd scale doll. So this is just for a normal bust, average 3rd scale doll. So there's like the Island doll, the doll, Dolphin, not Dolphin Dream, Dream of Doll, you know, some are just the ones that are just a basic body. A lot of them don't vary that much from one another. If you have an Ippelhaus, however, who are very, very curvy, check your measurements. You'll want to do that, because this isn't for the very hourglass shaped figure like the Ippelhaus has. So, but just for like a basic standard 3rd scale doll, it will also have the coat for that size doll. So all in all, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 patterns, all in one set. Again, it's just a fun way to say thank you for coming along on the journey, for watching the videos. I really appreciate it, and it's you guys and your fun comments and your just sweet encouragement that always make this a fun thing to pursue and to continue doing. So thank you, and we'll go ahead and switch up the camera and open up this guy and get him wired. And that sounded really bad, didn't it? Sorry, we're not going to electrocute you or anything. So anyhow, we'll get him to where he can actually hold a pose. And yeah, so here we'll take his hand out of his pocket and keep his arms positioned, his legs positioned the way you want them. So we'll go ahead and get that done, and then I will go ahead and rest my voice and see how we make it through the next week. And hopefully I won't have to come home again from staying home from work. So yeah, so I'm on the mend, getting better, and I will hopefully continue to do so. Until I see you next time, happy sewing. Bye. So I have in my hot little hand one of the famous boxes for which us dolly collectors are crazy, and it arrived today. I am in the midst of a project. So this is my Granado Poncho head. Currently he's on a Miro doll 60 centimeter body, which is pretty buff and not the tallest that they make, but you know, pretty decent sized guy. And I put this head on this body just because I happen to have this body. But in the box is the body for which I have been waiting, specifically purchased for this head, because I have another head that actually goes on this body. So what we're going to do is open up this box and see how Poncho looks on this body. So we're going to trade his spot and see what's in this box. So I just love getting new boxes, and it's always interesting to me to try to open these without damaging the real pretty little box inside. And so the one that was purchased was the Miro doll 65 or 66 centimeter body, but it's like the more slender one. Oh, and I think I did just nail my box. The paper is very thin. I was hoping there was a layer of cardboard, but there's not. So we'll just be more careful from this point on. Looks like I have a nice gap here from which I can cut paper. There we go. Oh, there we go. We're making progress. Maybe not. I thought I was making progress. Okay. There we go. Sometimes box openings take a while. Now I can see why. There we go. There's a lot of tape on this paper. Alright, here. Let's try it from this angle. Ah ha ha. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and cut through the wrappings. There we go. I just really don't want to scrape up the pretty box. So this body is one of their taller, slimmer bodies. I'm trying not to just, fill the camera with my arm. Okay, there we go. And it opens over here. And of course we've got tape here too. Alright, for now let's just do that. And tape on the ends. A little slit here. And a little slit here. There we go. Okay. The moment we've waited for so long. Alright, so we'll put Poncho here. Alright, let's see what we got. Oh, we have a surprise. Oh, it's a little baby girl. Look at this little baby girl. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's cute. Oh, look at that little girl. What a cutie. Well, I was not expecting that. On my last package from Miro doll, I just got a rubber squeaky toy. Oh, she's so cute. Look at that little angel. Oh, should we come up? See if we can get her in the camera a little bit better. She's really cute. It's a little plastic girl with hinged knees, ankles, elbows, and wrists. Oh, what a cutie. Well, thank you, Miro doll. I'll send them a little email. And shoes. Little shoes. Oh, she's cute. Alright, so now, let's pull out. Maybe it's because this body is a little more expensive than this one. Well, actually a lot more. But, you know, sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet. So, this light came out. It's backwards. Alright, so this guy is going to be quite a bit taller. There we go. His legs are a little wonky in the packaging. Maybe to get him to fit in the box. Okay, so here is the taller body. And I think I like these hands. They're a little more, no, the fingers are a little more narrow, so I like that. Can we see that very well? So yeah, I like this. So he's quite a bit taller, so you can tell, because just the body and the neck, but I'm hoping that his neck isn't like way too big for this guy. So they even gave me a, or is that just the elastic color? Let's see. Oh, I guess he has some black elastic inside. Oh, his arms have black elastic. Interesting. Well, that's new. All right, so I'm going to grab my string, obviously string. So I can take this head off and put it on there, and we'll see how it looks. Let's take this head. And the body, I guess I should have gotten a normal yellow. So, here's how this body looks with the head, and I may have to just order another body. Such a pity, right? But I love this size of body for this head. I like the height. He's tall and slender, which kind of matches his head. Put his wig back on. Okay, so here is the Granado Poncho head on the taller 65 centimeter body, or 66, I can't remember which one it was, by Miro doll, and it's kind of the more youthful, slender body, so it's not quite as buff, with the turtleneck and the long ninja pants, which fit him better because obviously his legs are so much longer. But I am very happy with the body, and he is a little more pink than the head, but that's okay. It might just give me an excuse to get another body, and because I have another head that could actually go on this body. Oh, let's move him down. There we go. So yeah, he's a little more pink than this head, but that's okay. And once he's all dressed, you can't really see much of it anyway, but it might just give me an excuse to buy another body. That's always a shame, isn't it? I'm very happy, and he is a little loose. Well, he's very loose, so I need to tighten up the strings, and then I'll probably wire him, because I usually do that on the tall dolls anyway, just because they tend to be kind of floppy when they're tall. But all in all, very happy with purchase. Thank you, Miro doll, because it gave me an excellent body for my fella, and he's looking good, so now he'll be ready to model a bunch of clothing as we get it sewn. So I have the head on the doll, and I have went ahead and tightened the strings. What I thought I would do, just if anybody is curious, is I'm going to go ahead and wire him, so I thought I would go ahead and film that as well. I will also put a link to Sarah at Swandzz Pint Size Palace. She has a video on more in-depth how to do this. So I'll just show what I'm doing, but if you want more explanation, I will put a link to her video below. These wire that I'm using, I got at Dollar Tree for $1, and it's just some floral wire. They have it in purple, green, red, gold, and maybe blue. I can't remember, maybe blue. But it's pretty colors, and I have found that one package will be enough to wire one 1/3 scale doll. When I am divvying up how much wire to put in each spot, I'll kind of show how I do that, and then I'll go ahead and mute it and just kind of speed up the camera because the process kind of speaks for itself. But I go ahead and unwrap the wire. Here we go. And I'll go off camera a little bit. But what I kind of do is I don't know if it's like a third or, anyway, I don't even know what the ratio is, to be honest. But I will measure from halfway down the forearm, across the chest, to halfway down the other forearm, and kind of bend that in half, because I'm going to have a double wire. But I don't do any cutting yet, so I know that's where it ends. And then I'll take what's remaining and double that wire and pinch it down, and then I kind of go and bend that in half and see if it will roughly go from right at the inside the pelvis where the hips are down below the knees. And here I can see that it does go below the knees, so I know that ratio is going to be fine. I usually just do the arms first, and then where those ends come together is where I'm going to cut the wire apart. Now then, when I have these two ends, I don't want them to scratch my resin at all. And now I slightly have a little bit of a bend left, so I know where that center was. I'm going to bring the ends to that center, and there we go. Just kind of flatten that out. And I also go ahead, and where it's very rounded still, I use some pliers just to get a tighter bend in the end. So that way, this nice curvy bend is what's actually going to be inside the arms. And then I'll take this end and bring it to the middle where that other end is. And once again, just smooth it down. There we go. And use my pliers to get that to a nice tighter curve. And now where these ends meet, I don't want those raw ends to scratch anything inside the doll. So I have just a medical cloth tape, if I can find the end of it. There it is. I'm gonna cut some of that off because it's nice and soft, and it's kind of moldable, which is nice. And I'm going to go ahead and start on one I can get this to hold still. Curve that over. And I'm simply going to wrap where those ends meet with tape and kind of go at an angle so I can twist the wire. There we go. And cover up those ends. There we go. And come kind of back and forth. And that just covers up the ends so they don't end up scratching anything. And do that good and tight. So that wire is now ready to go. Let's see. That's for the legs. So anyway, that's for the legs, and this will be for the arms. I'll do the same process on this one, and then we'll go ahead and wire the doll. So I'll speed up the camera and we'll get moving. So now he's wired, and this one, I think there was something, I don't know if there was a rough spot down in the bottom of the thigh in the spot where the wire comes out, but it sure didn't want to slide down through. So that was kind of a battle. But now, as you can see, he'll hold a pose, and it just helps him stay put so much better than when they're real long like this. The elastic sometimes, even if you get it really tight, then they end up being really kicky. So I like to wire them. I don't really wire the torso, especially on his, because it's got substantial sturdiness up here, so he doesn't really fall forward. So this we'll kind of experiment with. But so yeah, so now he's all wired and ready to go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.